The Executive MBA fast-tracked my development. It was 100% worth it and definitely the best investment I've made in myself. I was working at Qatar Airways looking after the marketing for 31 countries across Europe. With that, a lot of pressure as well to deliver. I am always striving to be better. I had reached a point in time in my career where in order to get to the next level, I needed some further development. That's when I started looking at different MBA programs and eventually landed at Bayes. I looked at a number of different programs, and what I loved about the modular MBA was that it was meeting once a month in person, which meant that I could travel throughout the week. So it was a great way to actually be able to fit in the work and still manage to balance the studies. When you start the Bayes MBA and you go into your first classroom, it is a little bit humbling because you're very comfortable in your own organization, your own position. There are so many highly accomplished people. We had engineers in our program, so they have a very different way of thinking to myself, who's coming from marketing. So how do you take that creativity and that business acumen and the frameworks and then be more thorough in your thought process? And I think those were some of the things that really helped me move forward. You spend a lot of time during the MBA program understanding yourself. I think it's so important, and even more important for women in business, to have an understanding of what comes across as professional and how does it help you to advance in your career. Really important skills that you're maybe not taught in the workplace. I was approached by some headhunters for a role with Cathay Pacific. It was a better paying role. When I went to Cathay Pacific, it was going through a restructuring and a change management. I was able to apply a lot of the learnings. How do you lead through change? How do you create and build high-performing teams? Over the last couple of years, myself and 3 colleagues, we created the Women's Mentorship Program in Europe. I've taken a lot of the learnings from our professional development courses, so that executive presence, understanding your strengths, and that's been a real asset. Having that time to dedicate yourself to actually learning and then putting into practice means that it's not only something you learn, but something you can put into action and implement right away.